So when Hillary Clinton sends emails that have classified information in it, Trump and the whole administration wants to yell, lock her up, get it, put on t-shirts, hold up signs, the whole 9 yards. But with Trump and his people, add a reporter to a group chat discussing extremely classified information about a mission that could have gotten people unalived. It's not a big deal. They're going to sweep it under the rug. Jesse Waters tried to sit there and act like it was you sending a naughty text to your aunt, and now everyone's just a little embarrassed. No, y'all wanted Hillary Clinton in jail. If Barack Obama, if Kamala Harris, if Joe Biden would have did that, the amount of times y'all would have called them incompetent. Y'all called Joe incompetent so many times, Joe, because he's my homeboy.
I will literally be reading the Constitution to these mofos, and they'd be like, "Where'd you get that? CNN?"
I voted for him for lower grocery prices. He promised me cheaper prices on groceries. And that has not happened. Not only has that not happened, I am getting my food stamps taken. I am getting my cash assistance taken. I am getting my Section 8 taken. I am getting all my welfare governments taken. I did not ask for this. I would not have voted for him if I knew this was going to happen.
Do you know what drives me insane about these people that say that if I would have known, I wouldn't have voted for him, or I did not vote for that? Yes, you did. The first thing that bothers me is yes, you did. You see, you voted for those things. You just thought it would happen to someone else. You were perfectly fine with other people losing programs, losing things that would benefit them. You just didn't think it would touch you. You thought you were safe from losing these programs. And the other part is they say they didn't know. Bullcrap. Bullcrap. The left, independents, lots of different economic experts, doctors, scientists have been screaming about all the horrible things that Donald Trump would do. We told you about Project 2025. We told you how many times his name was listed in Project 2025. And we told you how many of his own staffers were in there as well or helped write it. But you guys didn't believe us. You guys said fake news. We tried to warn you. You didn't either want to listen, or your bigotry and your racism, your homophobia, and your didn't allow you to see what was coming. So the bed that you made, you now have to lie on. The sad thing is that so many of us are in the same bed with you, but we didn't vote that way. We knew that these things were going to happen. We knew that this was going to cause havoc for everybody. And look, I'm sorry for you. I feel horrible that you're going to lose all these benefits, but you did vote for this. So if you want something to change, I suggest you call your congressperson and tell them to put a leash on Donald Trump and stop him in Congress. I suggest instead of just coming on this app and whining and complaining about what you yourself created, you call your representative and do something about it. Otherwise, we here on the left and independent, we don't care. We warned you. All my love.
What have Democrats done? Well, they gave us Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, SSI, Supplemental Security Income, food stamps, the Voting Rights Act, the Civil Rights Act, the National School Lunch Program, the Temporary Assistance for Needy Families Program, not to mention fixing the economy after the Great Depression, the Great Recession, the mess Trump left the country after his first term, and the mess he will no doubt leave after his second, if we still have a democracy by then.
Hi, everyone. So I'm with one of my really good friends. She voted for Trump.
Regret.
And you know what? Well, yes. But guess what? It's not time for us to do that. The time is come for us to figure this shit out. Okay?
It's time. The medical field is getting right now.
Right. So when the healthcare starts to be affected, we're
all fucked.
Yeah, we're all.
Yeah.
So guys, we have got to get this together. I get that we're all like Trump and everything and these people that voted for him, but guess what? We're all in this together. Right? Yes.
Yes.
And I know people want to hear that you regret your vote.
As of right now, I'm very unhappy with where we are economically, for sure. It worries me.
But guess what?
We're all
This needed to happen. We needed for him to win, rigged or not, for him to win and for all of us to come together. So what we are saying tonight, let's come together. Exactly. Let's come together. We're all Americans.
Stop the division.
Stop blaming. Stop saying what if, what coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get it together.
We have to at this point.
Yeah, we need to.
It's bad.
Yeah.
We're gonna face some shit.
Yeah. Because she's in the hospital setting. She's an RNFA. For those of you who don't know what that is, that's a registered
nurse, first assistant.
That's right. Which helps surgeons
during
assist
surgery.
in surgery, right?
And we're gonna everybody's doing layoffs. Hospitals are doing layoffs because they can't afford the supplies because the tariffs are too high.
Right. So, guys,
if the medical field is suffering, imagine what everybody else is doing.
Right, and if it's hitting the medical field, trust me, we're in trouble.
Yeah.
When they're laying off people in the hospitals.
Because they can't afford supplies.
Exactly. So, guys, God bless America. We need to get it together.
There are so many people struggling to accept what's going on. They're in complete denial. The level of brainwashing is so deep, and we've seen it so much this week. With the tariffs announced by Donald Trump, the amount of hate that comes out there, and these people are watching a completely different reality, unable to accept what he's saying, and all they would use the words as, he's a liar. And when it comes to the stocks, they now become an expert on it. And when it comes to the tariffs, they start repeating the words of people like Chuck Schumer, the biggest corrupt politician there is. Oh, he's putting tariffs on islands now with penguins. They got nothing else to talk about. And if they go into the future, it's only going in one direction. America's going to be great again. The world's going to be great again. So they can't complain about the future. They refuse to go back in the past because they've been wrong about so much. They just forget about all that. They won't look what Donald Trump has done. So all they got is now. And they're getting so desperate that they're repeating some of these headline news, and they're repeating some of these influencers where you can tell it's not their words. And the predicted programming is so clear to see now. This is the spiritual war because people are under a spell. And it's the hate and anger and rage which is not welcome in the new world. And at some point that has to come out because Trump's going to move forward. There is a Trump train and most of us are riding it now. And it is going at a fast trajectory. We're seeing the changes all over. We're seeing the corruption coming out. We're seeing arrests taking place. We're seeing exposure in terms of money laundering. We're learning about how the wars work and how all the countries are all interlinked and how the government officials are all part of one system. We're seeing it all, but they don't want to acknowledge any of that. So it's almost, who are they siding with and what do they want out of life? Because they're not going to get anything that they want. They've got no one to fall back on. They've got no one to back up anymore. The Democrats have completely failed. It's going to be a really tough time for these people. And at some point, they will wake up because the truth is going to come out so much. But they're going to struggle. We've been told to buckle up. We have to buckle up to their reactions. And we have to buckle up on our reactions to their reactions. Again, no need to get involved because that fear is going to enhance so much more. Because when you're unsure and when you're lost and when you're repeating the words of others, it can get very, very dark. Remember, dark to light, and that would be for everyone.
I want to have a real blunt conversation with the people who are on the right. All the GOP voters, all the Trump supporters, the MAGAs. I truly believe that you think Trump cares about you, and I also believe that it is clear and apparent that the GOP is using abuser tactics on you guys. Now, you probably think I'm full of shit, but, stick around, hear me out. Every time there's a press briefing, they never know anything about what they're being questioned about. If it doesn't make them look good, they don't have the numbers. They don't even know about that story. They need more context. They can't remember. And I know a lot of people have experienced this with maybe an unfaithful partner, that maybe they don't know what you're talking about. They weren't flirting with that girl. They don't know what you mean. You're just being crazy by bringing up all these questions. Like, that didn't even mean anything anyways. So, like, why are we talking about it? They can't remember. I don't know. Maybe it happened, maybe it didn't. And then if they do admit that they have any kind of role in anything, it's never their fault. That Signal leak, they didn't know about it. And then when they admitted it, they're like, well, it wasn't a big deal. And when we were like, yeah, it's a big deal, they were like, well, it's that journalist's fault and the corrupt media. And why are you guys even asking this question? It's like you're obsessed with it. Like, you can see a clear parallel with that kind of dialogue with being unfaithful, and a partner is like, I don't know why you keep bringing this issue up. Do you not trust me? Why would you think that? You are just being hysterical. And they are lying to your face in the same way a cheating partner would. And I think a lot of you are okay with this abuse. And it's a really sad thing. I don't think it's your fault. I don't think you mean it to happen. But I also know a huge swath of Americans were raised at the end of a belt, That a lot of you were treated pretty poorly as kids. That your parents screamed a lot, that they thought you were supposed to be seen and not heard. And I see that every day with the Trump administration. Because he loves you guys more than anything. He's going to save you. It's going to be the best thing ever. And it's all going to be because of him. Just so you know, though, don't you ever question him. Don't you ever say he did anything wrong. Because if you do, you're going to end up being talked shit about. You're going to end up like the law firms. They're now having Trump come in, doing retaliatory actions, saying that they have to, oust people and change how they operate because some of them had civil suits against him. Some of them investigated him, like the FBI agents that are being fired. So anybody who criticizes him is instantly punished. And I know a lot of you were raised like this, that you cannot speak up to your adult in your home and say, hey, I don't think this is right. And you are allowing the government to treat you like a child. You really are. And think about this. The government has a list of words that schools cannot say, that the government employees cannot say, that researchers cannot use. I don't know how many of you ate soap as kids, but I'm pretty sure you grew up with words you couldn't use either. Daddy Trump, he doesn't like that kind of language. He doesn't like, DEI or women. And then, in the same way as that, you have these farmers who are going to be hurt by tariffs. But hey, Trump loves them. Trump loves American farmers more than anybody does. And he loves American manufacturing. Except, a lot of you are going to get laid off because of the steel tariffs. I know people who do tool and die, who make molds. A lot of the companies that buy molds from them had government contracts. Guess what? They lost them. And they're going to lose jobs. But he loves them, just so you know. Just like he loves kids. He's super pro-life. Unless that kid's hungry. But hey, nobody loves kids more than he does. Don't listen to his actions. Listen to his words. And don't question it either, you smart ass. And literally, this is how you guys are allowing the GOP to control your reality, is listening to words over actions. I hear so many GOP people say slogans. It's kind of like how most of us grew up thinking blood was blue because we had some old relative that said it was, but then it's not actually that, it's just how it looks through your skin. But nobody can tell Grandpa that, he won't take that. Took a teacher to teach it because they were wrong and confidently wrong. And this is the same way that society is going. Some of you were raised at the end of a belt, and you're giving the government the belt. Because you are stripping away food, you are stripping away education, your national parks, your clean water, everything. But the military and the police, key function is oppression and violence. Literally. All they are is weapons and armor. Yeah, they could keep you safe. They could also end you. And the idea, this is that this entire administration isn't an act of abuse against people is just crazy. I'm seeing people who have benefits, who have disabled kids, who are on Social Security, who are on food stamps, or who have been on welfare, cheering for the dismantling of systems that have sustained them because they believe they get to punish someone who looks a little differently than them. They were taking food from themselves in the same way a little kid would be like, well, brother did that over there, so, like, you should beat his ass instead of just mine. I feel for you guys, because I know it's not a conscious choice. I realize that many people have been conditioned to accept tyranny because your first authority figures were tyrannical. They were angry. They didn't let you have feelings. They didn't let you criticize things. And you think because, he's okay with a couple of slurs, it's kind of like the parent that lets you have a little sip of beer, be a little naughty. But it doesn't change the fact at the end of the day that, Pete Hegseth is an alcoholic. Yeah, he might be the fun guy who doesn't like the trans in the military, but he endangers everyone by drunk driving the entire United States military into potential espionage territory. But you're going to excuse it because Trump loves you, because he cares about you more than anyone ever could, because he's going to keep you safe. Even if, the other parent in this equation isn't fun, we're nags, we think we're smarter than everybody else. Like, I get it. I've seen this dynamic so many times with kids growing up. They love the drug addict parent or the drunk parent because that's the fun parent. That's the parent that lets you drive when you're 13. That's the parent that lets you get away with stuff that you wouldn't be able to get away with. It's also the parent who didn't keep the food stocked in the fridge, who didn't pay all their bills on time, that did really stupid stuff that endangered everyone, and then acted out in violence because you questioned the way they were. This is America. You are giving the government the belt. You are choosing the drunk parent over the responsible parent. This is literally, this entire administration is taking advantage of the fact that so many people here were raised in unhealthy relationships. The same way a pastor will get everything, put under the rug because he's a man of God, even though it's plain as day he's had accusations against him. People don't want to believe it because he doesn't admit it. And I want you guys to think about, when's the last time someone who really hurt you, who took advantage of you, was willing to admit that they were doing it?